Hiring a virtual assistant can be a game changer for your business, but only if you hire the right one. Otherwise, it's like handing car keys to your toddler. Chaos, confusion, and probably a small fire. Today, we're going to talk about the biggest virtual assistant red flags to watch out for, so you don't end up in a virtual nightmare. What's up, guys? This is Philip Sessions, founder and CEO of Refined VA, where we help busy business owners like yourself buy back your time by getting virtual assistants to take on the tasks that don't need you to be doing them. Somebody else can do them for you. So red flag number 1, communication black holes. If you send a message and your virtual assistant responds like a turtle in a traffic jam, that's a problem. Quick response times, even if it's acknowledging the message, are key to a good working relationship. Red flag number 2, vague or confusing responses. If you asked, hey, did you send that email? And they reply, yes, I did something regarding that matter. Brace yourself. Clarity is everything. Red flag number 3, the yes machine. If they say yes to everything, but deliver nothing correctly, you're in trouble. A great virtual assistant will be upfront about what they can and can't do. If they claim to be a video editing expert but don't know how to trim a clip, that's a red flag. And I want to add to this as well, if a virtual assistant will keep taking on, sometimes they don't know when to say no. They don't want to say no. And this is as much of a red flag as we just talked about here with red flag number 3, but it is something to be concerned with because the virtual assistant will start to get overwhelmed and they just don't want to disappoint you and say no. So keep that in mind as well. If they're saying yes to taking on more and more work, even if it's related to their job function that you have them doing, you need to be cognizant of how much time they're taking or how much time that all these tasks take, because they may be just taking on too much and now you're going to get them burnt out, just like you were getting burnt out before you handed off a lot of these tasks. So red flag number 4, carelessness. If they are constantly making small mistakes like typos, misfiled documents, or scheduling errors, it really adds up. You want a VA who's double checking their work, not one who makes you double check everything, because they're focused on that. They're the ones doing that. So these things should not be happening. If they are, it's probably because they're handling multiple clients, which is a part of that red flag. So make sure that they are paying attention to that detail. Red flag number 5, and I've seen this one probably the most, it's disappearing acts, or they're constantly getting sick. If a VA goes missing in action for days at a time without notice, big problem right there. Life happens for sure, but reliability is a non-negotiable. A great VA keeps you in the loop and manages expectations. And something that I set with this to make sure we avoid this red flag is I tell them, I don't expect you, if you got, let's say, in a car accident, for me to be the first message. But I do expect within a couple of hours that you let me know. I know for myself personally, when I've worked in 9-to-5 roles and I had something come up, actually, even with my dad, when my dad passed away, first thing I did, of course, I was talking to my family. I booked a flight, and then I started contacting people at work to say, hey, I'm not going to be in. You know, my dad passed away. I've got to go home. Of course, they were understanding of it, but I let them know. So you probably do the same thing. So it's not unreasonable for you to ask for them to give you a quick message just to say, hey, unfortunately, I got in a car accident or my family member passed away, something along those lines. There are very few situations that they cannot just let you know real quick. Yes, of course, you're going to want more details later, but they should be able to give you that message. So, all right, now, I probably scared you, but let's talk about how to make sure you hire the right VA the first time. So here's your game plan. Number 1, do some kind of test project. Before you commit, get them a small paid task, or I would say if it's under a couple of hours, you probably can make them do it for free. If you need something, let's say you do website development, they're not going to be able to build you a website in 2 hours. It's probably going to take 10 or 20. I'm not a website development expert, but it's going to take some time. So you will need to pay them for that work.
Just give me my money. Yeah! Just give me my money. Yeah!
But this is a way for you to, of course, pay them so they get paid for their time, but you're not committing to them. And through this process, you'll be able to see how they communicate, how they work. And so it's a great way to really get a feel for the virtual assistant. Number 2, clear expectations. Much like I just said with communicating when somebody passed away or you get sick, you got an accident, telling them this is how often I expect you, or this is how quickly I expect you to let me know about this. In those situations, obviously you're going to give it a little bit more time, but if you message them during the day and you want a response, they should be responding within 30 minutes to an hour. That's not unreasonable to ask. Don't expect in the next 5 minutes. They might be eating. They might be going to the restroom, something like that. But they should respond to you in a timely manner, and you need to set what that timely manner is on communication and set other expectations as well as far as work, what you expect for work, when you expect them to actually show up. Don't just say, do work whenever. I don't care what time you work. You need to set a timeline, work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. That's the hours I want you to work. Those are the hours. So set clear expectations. Number 3, check references. If you can get references from them, check on those references. Don't just look at their portfolio. That's a great way. But again, this goes back to the test project as well. Get them to do something for you that if it takes them 2 weeks to get a 30-second reel back to you, that means they can't do it. That's a big red flag right there. But also ask for references. And when you ask for those references, make sure to ask for reliability and quality of work. Those are going to be really important things with those references to make sure that you have those things in place. Number 4, set some kind of trial period. You can do 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. We actually personally have a probationary period of 90 days where we want to make sure that the virtual assistant is there doing a great job. But set a probationary period. This will help be able to end ties a lot easier. As virtual assistants, they're contractors, so really you can technically cut ties anytime you want, but they're also human, so you don't want to just boom, just cut them off completely, but have like within the first 30, 60, or 90 days, a probationary period for them that they need to perform to a certain metrics, which goes back to the clear expectations. What do you expect out of them? If you have a video editor that does YouTube videos for you and you just said, hey, edit videos for me, they might do one a week and it could be amazing quality, but you really want it 6 a week. Six.
Wow.
Well, that's a completely different expectation than 1 video a week, which is what they expected. They were still editing videos, but you want it 6. So in that probationary period, you can see, are they actually meeting those expectations? And you can talk through that, but you need to make sure at the end of that probationary period, you talk about, hey, here's what's working, here's what's not working, and are you going to move on or not? But it'll allow them to know that, you're going to try for about this amount of time. Obviously, there's situations that'll come up that'll change that as well. And then number 5, use some kind of project management tool. Trello, Asana, Monday, ClickUp, things like that, where you can have tasks that you put in. It's clearly defined. It's in writing. It's not just you saying it and hoping that they remember, hoping that you remember, but it's there in writing. You can put a date. You can put any kind of links for examples. You can have a description. There's comments where you can go back and forth, giving more clarity. Of course, you can hop on a call as well, but have a project management software so that you can track what they're actually doing. Are they actually getting things done? Are they meeting those deadlines that you have? And it's something that's clear, concrete, and it's there written down. It's not necessarily in stone because you can change it, but it is written down so everybody can see that and hopefully be on the same page, and there's no misinterpretation that could come with communicating on the phone or over video conference. So hiring a VA should make your life easier, not harder. The key, spot the red flags early, set clear expectations, and never be afraid to walk away if something feels off. Now tell me in the comments, What's the worst VA horror story you've heard of or experienced? And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on more business saving tips.